Happy Wednesday, hump day, yes, and I'm going to work. Gotta go to work, 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 work. Look, I turned the corner. We're getting there. We're getting there, yes. Worked on all the black. Started to fill in some here, like the Cheshire Cat's head is over here, but his tail is over here. It's kind of cool. These different oranges here. It's neat how this painting is coming together. So, I got a bunch of stuff to show you today. So, as I threatened yesterday, I went to the dollar store. And after a lot of angst, I don't know what it is about me and the dollar store, but people will say, I found this stuff at the dollar store, and I go to the dollar store and hunt and hunt and hunt, and I end up in the candy aisle. I can't find anything. Well, so I knew there were stickers there somewhere. And I found some like in the children's section, but I couldn't find like the craft section. And I think when I finally found it, the reason I couldn't find it is because it's so picked over. Like, people just mobbed that section, apparently. So I found the stickers, and I picked up a couple or three. This one I liked because you can keep track of your steps. I'm going to put that in. There's not a lot, so I might just do it like weekly there. That will help with the 90-day crafters challenge. And then this one had I thought it was buying two of this one, so apparently I bought a different one, but we'll make it work. I can put meetings, make it happen, gotta do this, deadlines, and then I like it up here they have some prescriptions. That's kind of cool. And then this one was like emojis. I like these emojis. Like, what is me today? Let's see. Here. This one right here. Because I'm going to work. Yeah. Well, I work from home Mondays and Tuesdays. It's just so I can sit in my lounge chair and do my work. Someone suggested that I should take the lounge chair to work. Wouldn't that be a hoot? Yeah, I don't think that would go over real well. And then I finished the yellow scarf that I said I was working on. I added trim. So what I did was I added this, it's called Fur Sure by Moda Dia. And it actually says it's a bulky 6, but I don't know why it would say that. It's not bulky at all. But look how cute that turned out. Oh my God. That's going to be so cool in the winter. Yeah. Anyway, this will be for sale. Yes. No, I do not have an Etsy shop, but if you're interested, you can always contact me. All the ways you can contact me are down in the description. But super cute, and this is Red Heart soft yarn, so it's a super soft scarf, and I think I love the way it turned out with the edging, the fur on the edges. Then I got yarn in the mail. Oh, I ordered yarn off of Amazon because what I find a lot of times if you go to like Lion Brand, because my favorite brand of yarn, my favorite yarn is Ferris Wheel, Lion Brand Ferris Wheel. And if you go to Lion Brand, they don't have all the colors, but if you go to Amazon, they do have all the colors, which is really weird. So I got some different colors. This one is Vintage Carousel, and I got a couple of skeins of that. And then I got this one. Oh, it's so pretty. And I'm glad it came in a package. But look at this one. This one is called Full Moon. Oh my goodness. Blues. So I'm going to leave that out because I have a question. If AK Rose is watching, she wanted me to make her a hooded scarf. So I wanted her to choose between, I've got this one. This one I ordered, it's a 4-weight burgundy. It is from Peyton's yarn, Peyton's Canadiana, Canadian, I don't know, yarn inspirations. But look, it's a maroon. So I don't know, which one do you like? I can make one out of either one, or we can keep trying. Yes. So those are some that I got. I also, more Ferris wheel, yes. It was so weird. Amazon split the order up. Like some of it came in a box that you just saw, and some came in this bag later on in the day, which is so strange. Now this Ferris wheel is called Summer Day. Really pretty. I just love the way this Ferris wheel works up. And it's a 4-weight, but it's a thin 4-weight, so it's a very light. This is a Ferris wheel. This one's called Mocha Java. And isn't it pretty the way it works up? I do like it. So that's it. So that's what we got. Oh, did I show you this one? I didn't show you the best one, Bernay. This is Softy Chunky, and it's a 5 or a 6 weight, I believe. I don't remember. I'm going to say 5. I'm going to go with 5 on this one, but look at the pretty blues in that. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So, more yarn! Who doesn't need more yarn? And also, I want to thank Gail Pierce. You sent me the most beautiful card. It touched me. I just wanted to tell you that. It meant a lot that you took the time to do that. It was kind of a get well appreciation card. I'm not going to read it because it was personal, but it was so sweet of you. Yeah, and I am feeling better. Thank the Lord. Man. Because for 4, 5, 6 days, I just felt like crap with that cold. So did I show you everything? I did. Okay, so let's diamond paint. Yeah, so I did work on this for a couple of hours yesterday, or maybe an hour. I don't know, an hour. What I do is I'll put my dinner in the oven, and then I come in here and I diamond paint. Not for long, because then the dogs start bugging me. Anyway, it is National Senior Health and Fitness Day, which ties in very well with the Crafters 90-Day Step Challenge. And I just wanted to mention this. A lot of you guys, including me, have aches and pains. I have arthritis, I have depression, I have anxiety, and I'm not going to say excuse. Please don't use it as a reason not to participate in the 90-Day Step Challenge. And here's why. The more active you are, it will ease your symptoms of anxiety. It reduces and prevents arthritis. So if you already have arthritis, it's actually going to reduce your pain. Now, it might be painful while you're doing the activity, until your body adjusts to that activity. And I'm not saying go out there and do 10,000 steps a day, but just do a few more steps today than you did yesterday. That's all we're looking for in the Step Challenge. And we're trying to do it as a community so we can support each other. There's team captains. You'll be on a team. The team captains are there to pick you up if you falter. And I understand maybe one day is just a really bad pain day. A lot of you have fibromyalgia, and I understand there's flare-ups. So the next day you just pick up where you left off, and you keep on going. Yeah, because we're all going to have those kind of days, bad days, there's days where I don't want to do a darn thing, not a thing. I just want to sit there and stare at the television, or sometimes not even stare at the television. Luckily, those days are few and far between because I'm well medicated. I will say that. And I have all my crafts. The crafts help a lot too. So, this is why we craft, but it's also, we've been in the house and we've been isolated for the last, year and a half. And this is a chance to, get out of our chairs and get well again. Yeah. So I will put the Google form in the description that you can sign up for this challenge. We have over 75 people signed up, and it's really going to be fun. Like I said, we're splitting into teams with team captains. They will each have their own like Facebook Messenger group, so that you can feel supported, and you don't have to go out and buy anything expensive. You don't need an Apple Watch. There's cheap Fitbits. There's Fitbit knockoffs. You can go to QVC and get a Fitbit, and pay for it in installments, or you can just buy a cheap pedometer, off of Amazon. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Yeah. Somebody said I sounded like Forrest Gump when I said that yesterday. Also, this week is the last, back to the challenge. We're going to start that on June 1st. But also starting on June 1st is the mystery diamond painting. So you have, a few more days to sign up for that, guys. If you've never done it, it's a lot of fun to paint, your diamond painting, and you don't know what you're diamond painting. And it's just so much fun as the painting reveals itself, or you're trying to figure out what it is. It's just a lot of fun. So I say that word a lot. It's fun. I like to have fun. Do, 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 do. I like to have fun. I like to make up my own songs. Okay. Where do I want to go from here? Oh, okay. So that was the National Senior Health and Wellness Day. So you can join a gym. I've joined, my physical therapist says I just make donations to the YMCA. I'm not really a member. I just donate money every month. But I could go there and use the pool. That's a great way to be active, especially if you're a senior, is to get yourself in the water, because you're defying gravity when you're in the water, but you're moving, and it feels so good. The pool does. Yoga, walking, swimming, all low impact stuff that we could do as we get older. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. I'm sure you guys could figure it out. I'm sure I've said some, I just had a grandson graduate from high school, so figure it out. I have no spring chicken, so low impact it is for me. Okay, we could talk about, let's give them something to talk about. Judge, jury, and journey. Day 5 of the Mollie Tibbitt's murder trial. So the prosecution rested. The defense is now putting on their case. So they did their opening arguments, and I'm not positive, but I think this defense team is a husband and wife. I believe they're married. I think so. Yeah. Where did I leave off? Okay. So during the opening, the wife did the opening, and she's very good. She's really good. She talked about how Mollie Tibbitt deserves justice, but also her client deserves justice, Christian Bahama Rivera. Look, I said it. I've heard it so many times now, I can say it. That he also deserves justice. Then she talked about the immigration issue, and she talked about it for a while. And she asked the jury, she said, my client is here illegally. He came, with the help of a coyote. He got into the country illegally. He's been working here illegally. But I want you to set aside that issue because it has nothing to do with this trial. And then she goes on to talk about it for 5 or 10 more minutes. And I'm thinking, well, if it has nothing to do with this trial, stop talking about it. But clearly, she wants them, I don't know. I don't know if she's looking for sympathy or I'm not sure what angle. I don't know. Then she talks about how the 11-hour interrogation was a systematic confrontation of her client, who was exhausted after a long day of work. He was so tired, and at the end of this interview, they just kind of talked him into the idea that he might have blacked out and doesn't even remember the murder. Well, was his story. But I guess she's trying to claim that they sort of talked him into that theory. I never heard any evidence of that they even mentioned that he possibly blacked out. I don't remember that, but anyway. She said he was very tired and he was under intense pressure. So that would lead your client to show them where the body is. I don't know. See, now the jury does not know because the evidence that was suppressed is that he confessed and that he gave them turn by turn directions in the dark to this body. The jury does not know that. But what does the jury know? The jury knows that when they're sitting, they go from the interview room to now they're sitting beside the cornfield. But they know that while they're sitting beside the cornfield, he says, I brought you here, didn't I? So I must have done it. So those words may be enough to put into the minds of the jury that he led them there to the cornfield. And they've kind of tried to dance around it any way they could. You didn't know where this body was before the interview of this guy. No, we didn't know where it was. So you can only conclude that he must have taken them to the body. Anyway, and then she talks about how they're going to put on a DNA expert because in the trunk of the vehicle there were DNA profiles that were never identified. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about more of that in a little while. So then they start their case with this Michael Spence. He's a DNA expert, and I thought pretty credible. He doesn't overreach with his opinions, but what he says is that the crime lab in this case, they only had 2 known profiles. The profile of Mollie Tibbitt, the victim, and the profile of the suspect, Christian Behena Rivera. So, but there was other DNA profiles there. And what they did in their report, the crime lab, was just say, well, those were inconclusive because they didn't have anything to compare it with. He says, I don't agree that it was inconclusive. I agree that there was enough there to compare it to a known profile had you had another known profile. And in one, there were several blood stains on the liner of the trunk, and including the seal of the trunk. And there were up to 17 other profiles that were unknown in that trunk liner. So on cross-examination, the prosecution brought out that the blood on the seal only had a single source, and that was Mollie Tibbitt's. And he agreed that would indicate that Mollie Tibbitt was in or near that trunk and was injured. And he had to agree with that. And I'm going to say that, I don't know that he bought this vehicle brand new. DNA can last forever if it's depending on the environment. We know that it's not going to last out in a cornfield in, tornado, heavy, inclement weather. But in the trunk of a car, it can last quite a while. It could have been Christian's daughter. It could have been, a previous owner. But what difference does any of that make? Because we know her body was in the trunk of the car. Now, are they trying to say someone helped him put her body in there, or somebody put the body in there and he didn't know? I don't know what they're trying to get at here. That he had help, that someone was trying to set him up. I don't know what do they want me to believe with this evidence? I don't know. All I know is that her body was in that trunk, and it was his car. So then they put on, and I didn't catch the woman's name because it was in Spanish, and it kind of rolled off her tongue, so I didn't write it down. And she had to give her testimony with the help of an interpreter. But she is married to Christian Bahama Rivera's uncle, and when he came to this country, um, he went to live with them. He kind of became part of their family, but he got a job. He worked, at the farm, and he worked very diligently, um, and eventually got his own place. But she said that he was not a violent person, that he was very respectful, he was a funny guy, that he would be sending money home to his parents so that they could build a house. She and her husband and several of the relatives had gone to the police station the night of the interview, but they couldn't get in. They were in like an alcove area that they could get into from like 8:30 till 1:30 in the morning, and nobody would let them in to see him. They tried to reach him on his cell phone, by phone, calling him, texting him, and he did not, Christian did not respond. So they left and went home. Then the next person is, I don't have my light pad on, so this is hard to see. Let me turn the light pad on. I'd have better luck diamond painting with the light pad, because oh my God, I was way off on that. Wow, no diamond painting without the light pad for me. Okay, so the next one was Iris Gamboa. Cute girl, really, really sweet girl. She was his girlfriend, Christian Bahama Rivera's girlfriend, for 2 years. They had a child together. The child is now 5 years old. And a sweet little kid, really a cute kid. They showed pictures of the kid. And they lived together. He worked at this farm, Yerby Farms, and was actually secured housing at the farm, and she was living with him there until they broke up. But she said even with the breakup, he was very supportive. She did not have to go to court. He voluntarily would give her $250 every paycheck without fail. She didn't have to hound him. So roughly, $500 a month for child support. Plus, he would buy her things, toys, clothing. Okay. But prosecution, or the defense, brought out kind of at the last minute, and again, I don't know where they were going with this. Did you know Dalton Jack? Now, Dalton Jack, is, you may recall, is the boyfriend of Mollie Tibbitt's. And the defense would have you believe that this boyfriend is the one that committed the crime. And then, I don't know, put the body in the trunk of Christian Rivera's car. I don't know. I think it's a stretch. So she said she knew him. She knew him. Now, they didn't ask. She knew him to be very racist. Now, I think she knew him through school. She had grown up in this town, and she had gone to school with Dalton Jack. So that's how she knew him, and she knew him to be very racist. And that was a very brief testimony on that. They just touched on it and ended the testimony. So then on a cross-examination, the prosecutor very brilliantly said, were you aware that he had any mental health issues? Nope, didn't have any mental health issues. Were you aware if he had any history of blackouts? Nope, no blackouts. Did he have any memory issues? Nope, no memory issues. Yeah, kind of damaging testimony there. Then they brought on a specialist in latent fingerprints, and she testified that she did identify fingerprints on the fishing pole that were in the trunk that were not identified. Again, what am I supposed to do with that? I don't, I mean, are we trying to believe that Dalton Jack was racist, so he set this guy up? I don't know. You know, I guess they want us to believe because they put Dalton Jack on the stand next. Um, they recalled him, and this guy is, his affect is just so weird. He's the boyfriend of Mollie, and he testified that they were going to get engaged, and that he had spilled the beans. She knew that he was going to ask her to marry him, and she was going to say yes, and they were going to their his brother was planning this destination wedding to some beach resort, and while they were on the beach, he was going to propose to Mollie, and he had already bought a ring, but apparently she knew all this, so it wasn't going to be a surprise to her. But for someone, if I had lost someone that I was going to be, fianced to and engaged to, and in some brutal murder, I'd be a bit more emotional about it, I would think. And he's just not. He doesn't show any kind of emotion at losing this woman. None. He's very flippant, not disrespectfully, but almost like he just doesn't even know what day it is. It's just weird. Like, at one, and he can't remember anything. I don't remember. Somebody gave him the spiel. Don't, just say you don't remember. I don't recall. I don't remember. So the defense, the husband part of the team was questioning him, and he said, well, they were asking him about cell phone calls, and there was a great deal of testimony back and forth about this affair with this other woman, and did you break up with, Mollie knew about it, did you go back to her after Mollie knew about it? I'm thinking, who cares? And they went back and forth on that for quite some time, and I'm thinking, this is not relevant. But at one point, he puts a cell phone record in front of him to get him to recall some question that he was asked. And he looks at the guy and he goes, well, what am I supposed to do with this? I don't know how to interpret this. I thought, oh my God, this guy. And so he was on the stand for a bit of time, and I didn't even take any notes because the testimony was so ridiculous. It just was. It just, did you have to take your drunk boss home, or did you? I mean, what? Like questions that just. And I think the prosecution let it go on just to show how ridiculous it was. It did not leave me with the impression that Dalton Jack had anything to do with the murder of his girlfriend. The defense wants you to believe that after he finished work that day, he somehow snuck back, he drove back home, and I don't know how many miles we're talking about, that he knew her running route, he committed this murder, put her in the trunk of Christian Bahena Rivera's car, and they went back to work? I don't know. So that is where we left off for the day. I just don't know where the defense can go with this. I think they're grasping for anything. They're trying to put some doubt into the mind of just one juror. If even one of these 12 people is buying this, and I'm not buying it, then they're not going to convict him of murder. But I can't believe that the jury is swayed by what the defense is putting out there. It's just not making any sense. So I expect that today we will hear closing arguments, and that this will go to the jury today. And I got to believe that it isn't going to be a very long deliberation, that they're going to come back fairly quickly and in my opinion, a guilty verdict. So, what do you think of the evidence that's been presented? My Cliff Note version. Do you think guilty, not guilty? I mean, do you think the boyfriend did it? No. Um, is he totally broken up about her death? It doesn't appear so, but, some time has passed since it happened, so I don't know. Not the most caring person in the world, but is he guilty of murder? No, I don't think so. I just, now, I'm what's popping into my head is what was Christian Bahama Rivera's motive, and I don't know, can't tell you. He thought she was pretty, he thought she was hot, and I don't know, he had some kind of psychotic break. I don't know, was it premeditated? He certainly had a knife with him, didn't he? I don't know. So anyway, let's see what day in history this is. Do 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 do. Oh, May 26th, 1897. The book Dracula goes on sale. The first copies of the classic vampire novel Dracula by Irish writer Bram Stoker go on sale in London bookshops. Stoker was a childhood invalid who got over whatever was going on in his childhood, became a football player during school, went to college in Dublin, and then afterwards started writing. He did drama reviews for a newspaper. And he met an actor and became that actor's manager, which he did for the next 30 years. And then while he was this guy's manager, he wrote several novels, including Dracula, which did not, interestingly enough, kind of the usual thing, did not become super popular while he was alive. It was after his death that it really became popular, that book. And it started, that whole vampire cult craze, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Twilight, all the vampire things that I know and love. Although I never watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I really didn't. I loved Twilight. I loved, what's that other series? The Vampire Diaries. Loved that. Oh, yeah. And the spin-offs from that. I just like that kind of stuff. I don't know. So thanks to Bram Stoker for that novel. That is this day in history. Do, 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 do. Gotta go to work. Work, work, work. I could just sit here and diamond paint all day. My boss is gone to a funeral today, so she's not going to be around the office. So, but I'm still going to go, and I got stuff to do. Stuff to do. Well, of course, that's why I have a job, right? All right, guys, it is Wednesday, hump day. I will see you, tonight is Craft With Me Wednesday. Oh, tonight is, oh, this is bad. Temperature blanket time. My temperature blanket collab with Marissa McCartney, the Crafty Heifer. We should be doing our live tonight. I think it's her channel. I think it's her turn. So I'm going to be on her channel tonight at 6 p.m. Central. So I will see you there, or I'll see you tomorrow in the morning show. If perhaps there's a verdict today, I will go live with the verdict. Maybe that'll be tomorrow. We'll see. You never know. So make sure you got the notifications turned on. I turn on the notifications so you know if I'm going to go live with a verdict. You never know. So I will see you guys. Love you. Maybe I'll see you in Animal Crossing. Bye.